I don't want you to find me when I travel there while the COVID is going on.
Yeah. Young man afraid of play they go there and here, but the man always resign.
Secure.
Very secure, feel very secure.
Be online. Maybe online now. Should be used. Mute.
សូមចាប់ផ្ដើមសូមចាប់ផ្ដើមទេ
Greetings, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sakon Tim. I live in the state of Washington, USA. Joining us live with Chuni, who lives in Cambodia. Before we start our program, I want to take this brief moment to pay homage to the triple gems. Namo tassa. ភគវតោអរហតោសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធស្សៈនមោតាស្សៈភគវតោអរហតោសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធស្សៈនមោតាស្សៈភគវតោអរហតោសម្មាសម្ពុទ្ធស្សៈ Thank you for this moment. So today's Dhamma talk will be on Vesak Day. It will be featuring in English by our three special speakers from all over the world. Visakha Puja Day is very important for all Buddhist devotees, which it will start in the next 2 days. It will, on the next 2 days of full waxing moons. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Chuni to introduce our special speakers.
Thank you, Sakon. So how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are
Great.
you?
I'm
How's the
good.
weather?
Very good. It's my great pleasure and honor to be here. So let me pay respect to the three venerable from different parts of the world right now. So before the program start, I would like to introduce our three expert speaker monk from different country, from different parts of the world. So it's also my great honor and pleasure, and also good evening to the world. Good evening to Cambodia, to all people online right now. So hope you all gonna have fantastic time with us tonight. Let me first introduce Venerable Pico Thammasena Singhai live from Banamong, Cambodia. And currently he is an executive director for of Buddhism for Education of Cambodia, a short word called BEC, not BCC, not BBC, BEC. And currently he also involved with a lot of education in Cambodia. He had been contribute so much to the Cambodian community and to support the cause of education in Cambodia. He himself also got first degree from Burma, and then he got his master degree in Buddhist philosophy in Sri Lanka as well. It's my great pleasure and honor to be here tonight. I can't wait to learn from you. And let's move to the second venerable, Pico Muniputto Sokthevi, gonna be live from Seattle, Washington, United States. He is a founder of Tomika Alai, also the author of Buddhism Terminology. He also have been helping different groups online support teaching meditation, Buddhism to Western world, and Buddhism to Cambodian online community, which is, as so far I understand it, hundreds of people are joining his program as well. My great honor to be here with you tonight as well. And come to the third master, Venerable Pico Kasapa Hun Camera live from Colombo, Sri Lanka. He currently is an executive director of International Cambodian Buddhist Center called Wat Khmer in Sri Lanka. He has been teaching meditation and Buddhism for quite a long time, both in Cambodian International Meditation Center, also in Sri Lanka. He also have an online platform teaching Buddhism meditation as well to Cambodian and to all walks of people, all people from all walks of life as well. My great honor to be here tonight, and I also would like to thank to Dhammika Alai technical team, Bong, Sister Kunmili and Sister Popaka who helping connect to this. This is going to be a very special occasion, very special night that three masters are together here to help us understand more about what is Visakha Bocha Day. I am myself quite excited already, and also to let all the audience know that we're gonna have 1 hour and 30 minutes. So at the end, before we end the session, for about 20 minutes before end, we will open for the audience to have question and answer. So that if you have any question, any burning desire question, you can write down, take note, and at the end of the session, you can have the question. So now let me pass back to Sister Sakon to have some question for the monk, for the master. Yeah.
Thank you, Chuni. So we're going to start with our first question. This is going to be with Venerable Hat Sing Hai. So I want to choose him first. Hello, Venerable. How are you?
Hi,
Venerable?
Sakoyan. Hi, Sakoyan. I'm
Hi.
fine. Thanks. And how about you?
I'm fine.
The coronavirus pandemic is outbreak in U.S. How is it right now?
Oh, it's getting a little worse, and also it's spreading everywhere, but they're trying to find treatment. Yes. So we are still in we're still in quarantine. Some of them, some went out to work. Some who are still quarantined. So like I still do teleworking here. So yes.
Yeah, my great condolence to those who lost their beloved one, especially for Cambodian fellow who live in United States who lost their beloved one. Some of my devotees also lost. I felt very sad to hear, they lost of COVID-19. So hopefully this pandemic will finish very soon.
Yes, thank you. So, are you ready for our question?
Here.
Okay. So, what is Visakha Day? What is Visakha Puja Day? Could you explain?
Thank you for the question. First of all, I would like to pay my homage to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, and my sincere respect to the most venerable Satyavit from USA and the founder of Dhammika Life, and my respect to Venerable Khemra from Sri Lanka, and say hello to everyone who are watching our live show today. That is very great honor for me to be invited as Dhamma speaker among three of us. So concerning the question about Vesakha Bocha, I would like to draw the attention to all of you that Vesak is celebrated all over the world, not only in Cambodia, but other countries, but also other countries which embrace Buddhism. And you can see in United Nations, United Nations does not belong to any religion or any faith. It's very big organization, but they also celebrate this event. We say UN Vesak. And most important thing for all of us is United Nations officially recognize Vesak Day as International Day. So it is very proud to be a Buddhist and also recognized and acknowledged by the world institution that is United Nations. Actually, I have been in New York for this event last year to join the International UN Vesak Day in headquarters. It's very amazing and a lot of experience, to see a lot of people joining this Vesak in headquarters. But unfortunately for this year, because of COVID-19 pandemic, we could not afford it to do, to do so even in Cambodia, So we were really sorry for that. So I think all of you really missed this time, and the Vesak is coming in next 2 days. So hopefully everyone will join it and celebrate it. So back to the question. She asked me, what is Vesak Puja? So to understand this question, I think we should know what is Vesak and what is Puja. In Khmer, we say Vesak Puja, and internationally we can understand Vesak Puja, or in United Nations just called UN Vesak, also understandably international. So I can elaborate a little bit. Puja or Boji in this context. I mean, in this context, not other context. In this context, it's just like a celebration. Boja is celebration. To do something to offer. That is Boja. And simply it is just like celebration. And another word that is Vesak. Vesak is just a month actually, but it's lunar month, right? But why all of us as a Buddhist we celebrate in this Vesak? Or we have to just worship the month, or what? What for? Actually, it's very important for this month. We say Vesak in Khmer, or in English May. In May, right? The 5th month. So yeah, it's very important for all of us to understand, because this question, I think everyone got it in their brain, why we have to do celebration of Vesak. Even United Nations have to celebrate it. Why so important? As what we have to know is really important, because we commemorate the 3 main events. So what are the 3 main events? The first one is to commemorate when the Buddha was born at 80 years before Buddhist era. So you might confuse, what is that? Because Buddhist era, we count it from when the Buddha passed away, right? So when he was born, that is mean 80 years before Buddhist era. This is to commemorate the first one. And the second one, when the Buddha attained enlightenment at the age of 35. And when the Buddha passing away at the age of 80. But why is the 3 event? And what happened in this May or Vesak? The important thing is that this main 3 events happen on the full moon day. Full moon day, that is when the moon is full. So when the Buddha was born is on the full moon day of Vesak, but just different year. And when he attained enlightenment as well, on the full moon day of Vesak, at the age of 35 of himself, that he has done the self-mortification for 6 years when he left his kingdom, in the forest, and then he got the middle way, and then he attained enlightenment under the Buddha tree at the age of 35. So it's most important even on the full moon day. Yeah, this is the second event. And the third event is that when he passed away at the age of 80. So it's not so long. The life of Buddha just 80 years old. And the important is that on the full moon day of Vesak as well. So it's important for every day or not. Actually, it's very important every day, like the first, the second, and the 5th. But important is on the full. So important is on the full moon day, because that even happened on the full moon day of Vesak, just different year. So we have learned a lot of things. As we are a Buddhist, we have we have understood the Buddha's teaching, and we practice his Dharma, and we really thankful and we really grateful to our master, great master, we said Buddha. So that's why we have to celebrate Vesak Day. So once again, not to worship the month, not to worship the man or the date. Actually, it's not important the date or the month. The important for us is we have to recall to the Buddha's teaching on the birth and his enlightenment and his pass away on the full moon day of May or Vesak. That is called Vesak Boja, that we all celebrate together globally all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That is a whole lot of explanation. And so I've learned that, so from you, Vesa is a lunar moon, and Bojia means celebration, and the three significant. So thank you so much for sharing that. So I'm going to handle this to Choni.
Thank you, Sakon. Thank you so much. So now I'm going to turn my question to Venerable Muniputo Soktiwi, which is live from Seattle, United States. So Venerable, let me pay respect to you. How are you doing?
Hello, brother Chani. I'm doing good. What about you in Cambodia?
I'm all good. Cambodia, all good. The COVID situation is pretty well now. We don't see any new cases, and people feel much better at the moment. What happening? Everything okay over there?
Yeah, everything is fine, but the pandemic is still going on, even though it's getting less a little bit, but people should not be careless. And the weather is still cold, even though it is springtime, but the weather is such cold, it might be very easy to get infectious for the disease. So what about the weather in Cambodia?
The weather in Cambodia is getting hot. Sometimes we get some rain, which is good, the hot and the rain. So pretty well. So anyway, Venerable, thank you so much for updating. And now I have a question for you. So what does Vesak Kamboja Day mean to you? Would you please help explain in a very simple way for those who are new to Buddhism, for those who are new to Vesak Kamboja Day as well? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question. For me, it's about how does Vesak Kamboja means to me. But for everybody else, you may have different meaning when you talk about Vesak Kamboja, but in general, as you have already understood from the talk of Venerable Hasing Hai, he already mentioned about the remarkable events, the three events that happened to the Buddha, his life, enlightenment, and Parinibbana. So this is the very remarkable and auspicious day for Buddhists and all people around the world, not just the Buddhists. But to me personally, it really means a lot because as I am a Buddhist monk, as I am a disciple of the Buddha, it really has an important meaning for me as a Buddhist monk. And also it reminds me of who I am when we honor the Buddha by practicing his teaching, by celebrating Vesak Kamboja. It reminds me of who I am and the source, the origin of why I can become a monk is because of Buddhism, because of the teachings of the Buddha, because of the dispensation, the sasana that the Buddha expounded come as a teaching the Dharma to the world. Otherwise, I would have been as a monk without the teachings of Buddhism. So in that regard, it really means a lot to me. And also, if we were to talk among all events in Buddhism, Visakha Puja is the most important event in Buddhism because it commemorates the three main events throughout the historical life of the Buddha since the day he was born, that which is fall on the 15th full moon day of Visakha, the lunar month of May, and again at the age of 35 years when he attained to complete enlightenment, Samma Sambuddha. This is also very special event for the world, not just for the Buddha himself. When he attained to complete enlightenment, fully endowed with knowledge and wisdom, and practices virtue, compassion, and purity, it means he has brought the light to the world through his teaching. We cannot imagine a day without the enlightenment of the Buddha, how the world would be without the teaching right now, which is still very relevant to the contemporary world. And with the third event that happened at the age of 80 years when the Buddha Parinirvana, he completely passed away at the age of 80, which is also fall on the 15th full moon day of Visakha. So because of these three main events that happen miraculously, wonderfully happen on the same day and month, that remarks the one of the most important event in Buddhism. And we, as a Buddhist, always remind us of the great virtues, attributes, and the great compassion of the Buddha that he has delivered to all beings, regardless of race, colors, religious belief, beings and non-human beings, human beings and non-human beings, all people who have sattha or confidence in listening to his teaching can attain full liberation. So to me personally, in conclusion, I think it's really very important meaning to me as a Buddhist and as a Buddhist monk, a disciple of the Buddha, to commemorate, also to celebrate the Visakha Puja in honor of the teachings of the Buddha himself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable. Really much appreciated for your insight. Let me just repeat what you have just said. So the Buddha was born, gained enlightenment, and entering the Nibbana or passing away on the same day of full moon, and also the same month, only different year. So the year. So for the audience, this is really amazing. This is really special. So the light that he was born, the light that he gained enlightenment, and the light that he passing away into Nibbana, it's all the same day and month. Only the year is different. So once again, thank you so much for your insight, Venerable. Let me pass this to Sister Sakon for the next question.
Thank you, Chani. So our next questions that I would like to ask is, I would like to press a Venerable Hon camera. So Venerable Hon camera, are you here with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Very good evening, sister.
Hi, good morning. I'm honored to meet, to be joining in with you, and thank you for joining us. And so, how's the weather in Sri Lanka?
Weather in Sri Lanka is hot, but this day it's raining.
Oh, is it raining? Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So, how are you today?
I'm doing great, and yeah, that's all.
Oh,
and thank you.
Thank you. So, I would like to ask you, is Visakha Day only for Buddhists?
Okay, so Namo Buddhaya, Namo Dhammaya, Namo Sanghaya. May my homage to the Buddha, to the Dhamma, to the Sangha. Very good evening, everyone from Sri Lanka. Dear Venerable Sirs around the globe who are watching us on Facebook Live, and especially my respect to my dear Venerable brothers, Venerable Hat Sing Hai, Venerable Sok TV. And I would like to say a very good evening from Sri Lanka to my dear devotees around the globe and my Dhamma friends around the world, and especially to our meritorious coordinators from Cambodia and from United States, and to the technical team. Before answering the question whether Vesak Puja or Vesak Day is important only for Buddhists, let me briefly elaborate the core teaching of Buddhism. So I think once the answer, the question is answered, what is the core teaching of Buddhism? I mean the particular question will be fully answered. So according to social sciences and natural sciences, human is a product of evolutionary process of social, psychological, and biological amalgamation or composition. Similarly, according to the Buddhist point of view, human is made of or composed of 5 aggregates. The groups of physicalities and mentalities. Simply, we are the products of mind and body, or physical and mental process. So in the light of that philosophy, regardless of nationalities, races, ethnicities, religion, country where you are from, culture which you are belong to, we have and we share the same senses and organs and limbs. Blood, our blood is red. And in addition, we experience the same wide ranges of thoughts and emotions. It means that we physically suffer from different ailments, diseases, sickness. Most apparently, human are vulnerable to the COVID-19, the pandemic. And in addition, we also vulnerable to different kinds of psychic irritants such as depression, anxiety, and so on. So this is the reality of life, and the Buddha came to this world to show us this is the reality of life. That is why Buddhism is humanistic and it is very universal, because it emphasizes on the issues that everyone can experience. Then, in addition, let me explain you the qualities of Buddha's teaching, and we call it Nibbana or enlightenment. So there are 2 metaphors and similitudes concerning the enlightenment. One is sky. So no matter where you are, no matter where you are from, when you look up, you can see the sky. So it means that the sky is for everyone. And another simile is the earth. We live up on the earth. The earth belongs to everyone. And another simile is, let me add another simile, the blissfulness, gaining from practicing Buddhism is like a water. So there are 2 substantial qualities of water. One is coolness, another quality is ability or capacity to quench, the thirst of everyone. So in the light of the metaphors, it suggests that wherever Buddha has found, the enlightenment is common to everyone. Because why? Because we have been suffering from different kinds of or wide ranges of physical and mental diseases. So this is the reality of life. And secondly, Buddha sacrificed the entire his whole life or entire life, I mean, to bring up the philosophy to heal our suffering, to extinguish our suffering, to eliminate our suffering. It means that he sacrificed his entire life to create the peace, you know, in the world, especially the inner peace. So from that perspective, okay, from that perspective, Buddhism is human-centered and universal. And so let me go to another point, that when the Buddha came to this world and he had a great desire to attain enlightenment. So the purpose of attain enlightenment, out of a great compassion, he wanted to share his knowledge for the world, for once those who suffer from, you know, illness, the mental illness. So he didn't specifically, you know, spread his teaching for the sake of Buddhists. No, he didn't. And the final point what I want to make is, you know, there are many great, you know, people in the world who sacrifice their entire life for the sake of humanity, like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King and so on. And I asked him the question, why we commemorate their service, why we appreciate their service annually or wherever, I mean, whenever we want. So similarly, Buddha does not belong to Buddhists alone. He belongs to everyone around the world who are seeking the inner peace. So I think from that point of view, and in the light of the points that I have been presenting, I mean, to appreciate, to express our gratitude to the great men who sacrificed for the entire life. You no need to be a Buddhist. You can be anyone to appreciate his service. So, in conclusion, Vesak Puja or Vesak Day is not only for Buddhists. It is for everyone who accept and regard Buddha as their spiritual master. So thank you for the question.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a lot of insight that you gave us. So just to kind of summarize a little bit, Venerable, you indicate that using analogy or that social, so we are made up of 5 aggregates with physicality and mentality, and just all sum it up that anybody can be a Buddhist follower. It's basically it's because it belongs to everyone, the world, and seeking for all peace. And so so it is for everyone, especially for this pandemic going on. Meditation is very important. And so, yes, thank you so much. And so, Chudi, all yours.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sakon. So let me pay respect to the 3 master again. I have a question for 3 of you, but let me start question with most venerable from Butterball, Cambodia, Venerable Hat Sing Hai. So my question for you: what are some activity you want to do to celebrate Vesak Discussion Day? So after this question, I would like to also refer that to Venerable Soktiwi and then Venerable Hun Camera. So this question is for 3 of you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Chuni, and hello once again. The second question is about the activity that one should celebrate on Vesak Discussion. In this question, I think my answer I will refer to point that is internationally and domestically. So internationally, as I mentioned earlier, United Nations recognize Vesak as International Day. As my experience, a lot of the leader of Buddhism, they have gathering. For example, last year in Vietnam and also in Bangkok, there is a lot of religious leaders, especially Buddhism. They come together to have such a conference. That is very meaningful. They can do any conference at any time, but the most important thing on Vesak Discussion to commemorate the enlightenment, the wisdom of the Buddha, the wisdom that can bring us to the liberation from samsara. So we are the son and the daughter of the Buddha to do something on this occasion, to pay such gratitude to the Buddha. So we have done a lot of things in this event, and I also one of the speakers as well last time. But this time, because of COVID-19, our event have been canceled. Yes, this event you can search in Google or YouTube. You will be delighted and you will be excited to watch and feel some kinds of being proud to be a Buddhist, and it's kinds of encouragement for you that you can do something which is special for yourself, especially to develop your understanding, to develop your wisdom. It's the way of life. This is internationally that we can see the event that want to join and be ready for Vesak celebration. And another thing I would like to elucidate the event activity in Cambodia, that is our traditional, one who know how their tradition is very best for their own nation. So as a Cambodian, we should know it. This is the message for everyone as well. Most important thing is for the young generation. You know why? Because the young generation right now, the youth, they want to be like modernized people, right? And try to do something like copy from someone else, like Christmas or the other tradition. They know very well. Valentine's Day, they do it, very actively. But how about our Vesak Discussion? That is our tradition, our Buddhism that can, emphasize our nationality. But sometimes we don't understand it. What is Vesak Discussion? What is the activity that we can do it? To show we are a Buddhist, to show we are Cambodian. It's almost 100% that believes in Buddhism. In our constitution, we say 95% who believe in Buddhism, and Buddhism is the state religion of Cambodia. It's only one in the world, I think, that regard Buddhism as their own state religion. Even Thailand, even Myanmar, or even Laos, Sri Lanka, they don't take it, Buddhism as their religion, state religion. So this thing that we have to reconsider and should do something special on the Vesak Discussion. As our tradition on this occasion, on this event, all Buddhists have to gathering in the temple. And also, they some kinds of dressing the clothes traditionally, and with the flower in hand, they go to the temple to listen to the chanting of Buddhist monks. We say Parita chanting, and after that, the monk gives Dhamma talk to the lay followers. And this is happened in particular monastery, but other monastery they do different ways, some kinds of Dhamma talk with the Dhamma discussion month to month, or they may have some activity like we have the question and answer, some kinds of conversation about Dhamma, about Buddhism. And our traditional is very important as well. You can see at the temple at the countryside that still keep our tradition, that is the whole night, not just about 1 hour, 2 hours, but the whole night that the Buddhist monk and lay people gathering in the temple, and they stay with the monks to recite Dhamma, to listen to the Dhamma the whole night from the evening until the morning. So it's I got experience as well in our monastery. Most important thing is in countryside that keep this event, but in the city, because sometimes it make noise to other people, so maybe they just spend about 2 or 3 hours. But I think we should keep our tradition that one should join in this event to show our tradition as well. But most important thing is not only express, as activity, want to do this and want to do that, like to hold the flower, to candle, to have a candle light. It's just something that we see, it just appearance. So something that we are a Buddhist, we have gratitude to the Buddha. But most important thing is that, the activity that we can develop our virtue in our heart, the morality, the wisdom, the meditation in our heart, that we say Heri Ottappa, these two Dhamma that protect the world, that we say, we say Lokapala, that is protection, protection the world. So those who consist of the Hiri Ottappa, Hiri, that is mean the shamefulness of wrongdoing. If one is shameful of doing something wrong, it's very good already. And another thing is Ottappa, that is dreadfulness of doing wrong. If you're afraid of doing wrong, it's very good. So, celebration of Vesak is just the activity that we can do. But most important thing, we have to give Dhamma in our mind and do it daily in our life. That is to preserve the 5 precepts, or something like a charity. We say Sala, Sila, Dana, and Pavana. This is more important that we have to practice in our life. Thank you.
So thank you, Venerable Singhai. And I'm gonna add something a little bit concerning with the question raised about what are some activities that one should perform on this special event, Vesak Puja Day. There are different ways of celebrating Vesak Day. In Buddhism, the Buddha expounded 2 kinds of puja. One, Amisa puja, material offerings, and second, Padipati puja, spiritual offering, practicing. In this regards, one can perform any offering. For example, material offering, as we normally see every year when the Vesak Day comes, people gathering at the temple, monasteries, march the procession across the roads throughout the country, printing some banners and posters with the 3 events of the Buddha: birth, enlightenment, and parinibbana. And some people broadcast the message about the Vesak Day on radio, on TV. And some people make offerings by giving away the charity, generosity, bringing some donation to the local temples, charity to the beggars and those who are in need. And for the Buddha, some also bring some flowers, candles, incense, food, offering to the Buddha, to the monks at the temple. That is the material offerings. But the Buddha appreciate very much when his disciples, when his followers are able to perform the Padibatta Puja, which means taking or applying his teaching into daily life, and taking precepts, practicing meditation, developing wisdom, panya. This is the practicing or spiritual offering that one can make to honor the Buddha. I remember the Buddha expounded that Yo Dhammang Pasati, So Mang Pasati. Yo Mang Pasati, So Dhammang Pasati. Those who sees me sees the Dhamma. Those who see Dhamma sees me, which means if you want to honor the Buddha, honor his teaching by practicing it on your daily basis. Basically, the 5 precepts, if we regard ourselves, if we call ourselves as a Buddhist, then it's a duty for us to abide by and take the 5 precepts without any break. For example, refraining from harming or killing any living beings, refraining from taking what is not given, stealing, cheating, etc., abstaining from sexual misconduct or committing adultery, abandoning from lying or false speech, and the intention to refrain from taking any intoxicated drinks and using drugs, which cause to lose mindfulness. So this is very basic principle that one should be able to practice on daily basis as a Buddhist. Then you can be called as a good Buddhist without even the 5 precepts with yourself. How can you call yourself as a Buddhist? So to be able to be called as a good disciple and follower of the Buddha, it is important for us to be able to practice the teaching. Otherwise, we don't honor the Buddha. Those who honor me, that's the Buddha's word, those who honor the Tathagata, honor my teaching. My teaching, my Dhamma and Vinaya, the dispensation and the teaching of me will be your teacher after I left. So this is the words of the Buddha that he expounded to Ananda when he asked, who will be our guiding master after you passed away, after you enter Parinibbana? So there can be many ways for us to celebrate Vesak Day, and within this period of pandemic, because we are being practicing the social distancing, which cannot allow us to social gathering at the temple as usual. So it is better for us to celebrate at our own home. We can, materially, you can offer flowers or water in front of the Buddha image, just like that. But most importantly, never forget to offer spiritual offering, which means to practice the teachings of the Buddha. At least on this very special occasion, observe 5 precepts or 8 precepts, practice some time of meditation, maybe metta bhavana, sharing loving kindness and friendliness to all beings in the whole universe, and listening to the Dhamma talk, chanting, parita recitation, do whatever that come into contact with the Dhamma, with the teachings of the Buddha. That way you honor the Buddha. When you have the Dhamma in yourself, you have the Buddha in yourself. That's what he said. When you seize the Dhamma, you seize me. So the Buddha is in your heart. And the heart is not belong to any race or religious belief. This is universal. This is common to one and all. So just in case, if I may ask, if I am not a Buddhist, So how can I celebrate Vesak Day? Because I know, when I come to live in the United States, I see that some people, they've been practicing other religions, but yet they would like to observe and study the teachings of the Buddha, and even some, they requested my presence to share the lesson on meditation, and I told them that the teachings of the Buddha is very universal. His teaching is not discriminated, whoever, what kinds of life you come from, which background you from, what language you speak, what culture you follow, because this is the universal remedy. All beings are in deep suffering. Suffering is universal, regardless of race or nation. Suffering is common to one and all. So the medicine of the Dharma, the teaching of the Buddha, is for one and all. It's common to everybody on this universe who seeks relief and liberation from the samsara vada suffering. And so if you practice any other religion which prohibits you from worshipping or from paying homage to the Buddha, that is okay. Some people, they don't need to go to the temple, but yet they practice 5 precepts, just like some people in America. I know some friends who are American, they've been practicing 5 precepts ever since, though they never claim themselves as a Buddhist. So I said, this is not important that you have to claim yourself as a Buddhist, as long as you keep practicing the teachings of the Buddha. The Buddha was not a Buddhist. He himself was not a Buddhist, just remember that. But he practiced the Dharma, the reality, the absolute and ultimate reality, which leads him to attain complete liberation, emancipation, and freedom from suffering. So anybody can practice Buddhism. You also can celebrate Vesak Day in your own way. You don't need to do material offerings, yet you can practice the teaching of the Buddha, observing, undertaking the 5 precepts, practicing meditation, developing your panya, wisdom, by listening to the Dhamma talk, reading the Buddhist scriptures and texts, asking questions, getting involved with the monk, being happy, enjoying, discussing in the Dhamma. That's it. Thank you, and I would like to pass on to Venerable on camera.
Okay, thank you very much, Venerable Soktivi, for the opportunity. I have nothing to say, but I have something to add. Besides what my 2 brothers have been mentioning, let me simply elaborate what they want to tell you. There are many activities to be performed, to be conducted to celebrate Vesak Day or Vesak Puja, materially and spiritually. But you have to ask yourself, what is the unique, what is the fundamental practices you have to follow? Simply try your best to be a good person. That is the best offering you can make to the Buddha. Wherever you are, make yourself to be important person for yourself and for your entire family, and especially for the world. Thank you very much. That's all from me.
Thank you so much for Tree Master, Tree Venerable, for your insight on this question. I mean, this has been really helpful. I think as a matter of time, first I thought of passing this to Sister Sakon to handle this question, but I think for now we would like to turn this to the audience. Let me just repeat Khmer a little bit. អញ្ចឹងឥឡូវនេះដល់ពេលដែលជំរាបសួរបងប្អូនទស្សនិកជនដែលកំពុងតែតាមដាននៅ online នេះឥឡូវនេះបងប្អូនអាចសួរសំណួរបានហើយអាចសួរសំណួរជាភាសាខ្មែរក៏បានជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសក៏បានបើជាភាសាខ្មែរចាំខ្ញុំជួយបកប្រែជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសក៏មានលក្ខណៈងាយស្រួលដែរហើយឥឡូវនេះយើងមានសំណួរ2សំណួរហើយ Some naughty moi mopi. No. So now we have two questions. I mean, this question refer to the trees master. However, I would like to start with again with Venerable Hat Singh Hai. Mainly, he been traveling a lot, joined different United Nations. I mean, Vesak Discussion organized by UN in different countries around the world. The question from Kunti Hin. The question was, please emphasize more what is unique practice in Buddhism. So I think this question will go to Trees Master, but maybe each of you will just short a little bit step by step. Yeah, please.
Yeah, thank you. And hello once again to everyone who are watching our Dhamma live show. That is our first time ever to have Dhamma discussion in English. And yeah, now we got a question, right? So she asked, what is the unique practice in Buddhism? I think it's very hard to answer for me personally. I think very hard for me, but I will try. I think if we see the teachings of the Buddha, we have a lot of Dhamma. Buddha's teaching 84,000 units of the Dhamma. 84,000 units of the Dhamma. That is a lot. But we can summarize in three. That is sababapa sa'agaranang, kusalaso pasambada sa'jataparyo dapanang. It means do not do evil deed, the first one. And the second, perform meritorious deed, that is do good deed. And the third, to purify one's own mind. Our mind have to be purified. This is the Buddha's teaching. And in Buddhist scripture, the Buddha mentioned a lot of things, like we have to do dana, and then sila, and then they will give the result, like in the heaven. We say anupopi katha. Anupopi katha is mentioned about dana katha, sila katha, saka katha, and then atinava katha, and nekama nisangsa. So there is a step what I want to say, because sometimes you say, what is unique? Unique. So you have to understand a lot of things, and based on your understanding, ability as well, whether how much you understand it. So, it's based on the nature of the man as well. When the Buddha was alive, he gave the Dhamma talk. He can understand the others, the listener who listen to his teaching, and what the listener want to listen to his teaching. So he gives that teaching straightly to the listener. But for us now, like for us as a Dhamma speaker right now, we cannot read any mind of the people, right? We don't understand, we don't know their mind at all, what they want to listen and what they want to know exactly. So we just speak generally. So I think we firstly, people just like to practice dana and dana. But after dana, the dana katha and then sila katha, we talk about morality, and then will result in the heaven. And for those who realize that our practice is not really for liberation, and they will find a way, to get rid of all defilement, all ignorance, to attain nibbana. So this is the practice that we can see in Buddhism. And one thing that we know and only stated in Buddhism, that is the theory of nibbana, for liberation. Other religion, other faith, they never talk about liberation. Be free from all suffering. No, we could not find it. or to be attained as noble person, we cannot find it. As Arya Pugala, a noble person, we cannot find it, because they talk about only the heaven and the hell only. Like other religion, you can understand it as eternal life only in the heaven or eternal life in the hell. But in Buddhism, hell or heaven is not eternal. It's not eternal. So only Nibbana will be eternal, and we still have the cost to give the rebirth in the heaven or hell. So by practicing the morality, say Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Sila is morality, Samadhi is concentration, and Panya, that is wisdom. So when we practice, the Sila, Samadhi, Panya, we say the threefold training is the way for liberation. So in summary, I can say that the unique practice of Buddhism is to find the middle way. The middle way. The middle way is the best unique to practice in Buddhism. You can refer to Sila, Samadhi, and Panya, or the Noble Eightfold Path. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Venerable. So let me pass this to Venerable Soktivi from United States, and I'll keep Venerable on camera for the next question for the sake of the time. So Venerable Soktivi, you have anything to add beyond that? Thank you.
Yeah. So just to repeat the question that asked about what's the unique practice in Buddhism. So if I would like to add something to the question, because the question is not really specific, understandable. Let's say, what is the unique teaching of Buddhism? That way I can easily share my thought. If we talk about the unique teachings in Buddhism, or the central essence of the Buddha's teaching is come down to the Four Noble Truths. The Four Noble Truths in Pali, Chatura Rija Satya, which means the truth which has been realized by the noble ones. So the noble ones are not worldly, ordinary beings just like us, but those who have already attained at least to the very first stage of enlightenment, Sotapatimaka or Sotapatipala, the stream of entry, which means they will not come back again to the fourfold world, Apayapuma. And within the Four Noble Truths, which starts from the noble truths of suffering, Dukkha Ariya Satya, is to be understood and acknowledged that life is full of suffering, and there is dukkha, unsatisfactoriness in life, physically and mentally. And secondly, dukkha samudaya ariya satya, the noble truths of the cause of dukkha, suffering, that is ignorance and danaha, craving, attachment, desire, thirst, that is the cause of suffering. And then nirodha ariya satya, the noble truths of the cessation of suffering, or dukkha nirodha gamini padipada. Dukkha nirodha. And then finally, dukkha nirodha gamini padipada, or magga satya, the noble truths of the way leading to the cessation of suffering, which has 8 factors. We call it the noble 8 factors, Ariya Attang Igama. So this is the only way for the purification of beings, for leading to the complete cessation from suffering. I think that is the unique teaching in Buddhism that doesn't have in any other religious belief. And then with that regards, for us, if we should practice, what should we practice in order to be in accordance with the teachings of the Buddha? Just practice in short, because there are many teachings that you have learned, but in short, practicing, just like Venerable Hat Sing Hai already mentioned, Dana, Sila, and Panya, by observing 5 precepts, 8 precepts, 10 precepts, etc. Undertaking meditation on daily basis, not just when you come to the temple, but practice everywhere. Be mindful in your everyday activities, walking, standing, sitting, sleeping, eating, bathing, whatever you're doing. Even you are at the office, practicing anything, while eating, while sleeping, while being awake, you need to be mindful in regards to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. The way you see, the way you hear, the way you smell, the way you taste, the way you think, the way you come into contact with material things. Just be mindful and develop your wisdom. And that is the best way to practice the teachings of the Buddha. Thank you. Okay, I'm done. The Kuchini, you can start the next question for Venerable on camera. Maybe something wrong with his internet. So yeah,
It's okay.
sister, okay.
So thank you very much, Venerable Soktivi, for giving me a chance to answer the question. So let me read the question again. How to avoid negative people and those spreading hate, specifically in this difficult situation? Before straight away answering the particular question, let me add something to what my two brothers have been sharing. So the unique or fundamental teaching of Buddhism is to totally transform yourself into someone absolutely new. This is unique and fundamental teaching of Buddhism. It means that we put our entire effort to practice Buddhism is to change the way we think mentally. So to the best of my knowledge, so in my technical term, I say that it is a transformation of inner interpretation system that is the final liberation in Buddhism. So the question, how to avoid negative people? So, and it is very meaningful and very important question. So thank you very much for the question. Sorry. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Now.
Brother Johnny, please keep going.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Something wrong with my phone. Okay. Even we are monks, we have been in difficult situation also. So the main point is, so the key point is, we have to train our mind to change the way we look at the situation. It means that I'm sorry, I have the coverage issue. So I want to pass the question to Venerable Soktivi.
Okay. It was it seems like he has a internet problem. So I will continue to answer the question that how to avoid bad people. So to answer this question, I think from my point of view, we don't need to avoid bad people. No matter how much we want to get away from bad people or people we consider that they dislike us or they disturb us in any ways, we can never get away from bad people, because this is the nature of life, that we have to face both, all kinds of people, bad or good, like and dislike, happy or suffering. This is the nature of life that we have to face on both sides. Otherwise, life is not balanced. If you always meet only good things or desirable things that you wish, or if you only meet only good people or people you love, then the Buddha would then expound it that Dukkha Satya or Dukkha Ariya Satya. The noble truth is that life is suffering. So first of all, we accept reality that there are some people who are hard to deal with, but we have to change the way we look at the people. The Buddha already taught that, oh monks, how will you deal with those people who are cunning, who are bad temper, who are full of hatred and evil, wicked mind? The Buddha then expounded that you don't hate them, you don't revenge them, even though they have done something bad to you, even though they want to take your life. You should not turn towards them with anger or hatred or animosity, hostility, but instead you should be compassionate. Develop your kindness. When your heart is full of compassion and loving friendliness, you will not develop revenge or ill will to anybody. We have to think positively, just like what the Buddha taught in the right thought, Samma Sankappa. We have to look at the situation with our heart full of compassion, not the heart full of hatred. This is not the way of the Buddha's teaching. If we are to face or deal with bad people, what we do is just to have the mind full of love for them. We understand that because of their ignorance, because of their darkness, that is why they cannot see what is right and wrong. That is why they commit mistakes. So all the time, just keep in mind that you always full of compassion and loving kindness to everybody, no matter if they do bad things toward you. I think that's the way we can deal with bad people. Thank you, and I would like to pass to Venerable Ha Sing Hai to add something on this.
I think that is enough. I'm sure what I want to say, we should not associate with the fool, because the fool always, make harmful to other people who live around. But most important thing, we cannot avoid. So we just not associate with them, the fool, but to face that problem, and we find out the solution to live our happy life. One saying that we should not, send our happiness to other people. I mean, to find out the happiness from other people. So when people cause problem, we will be not happy, right? Because a lot of people who live around us is not really what we want, not we want, like we want to associate with the good friend or the good people, but the other people is not really good. So the most important thing is to live with ourselves, to find out the solution within ourselves, to be happy the way we are, do what we're supposed to do. That's good, and to accept the reality. So this is, we say, vipassana. It's a very good thing that we can practice in our daily life. See something is good or bad as they really are. That is arising and falling. That Venerable Sakyavi just mentioned the worldly Dhamma. We say lokator, right? Lokator, the worldly Dhamma that we always face, like happiness and then suffering and happiness, fame and defame, loss and gain, reputation and fame. So this happened for everybody in this world. Thank you.
So thank you so much, the Three Venerable, for giving us a wisdom and insight into Buddhism and Visakha Bodha Day. So for the tonight, I would like to invite three of you to just give us short advice for a few days before Vesak Bodha is coming. So let's just start that from, I think, Venerable Camera, are you right? You okay? You back now? Are you connected? So let's start it from Venerable Camera from Sri Lanka, Colombo, Sri Lanka. Please just three of you can just say the final word for tonight. I mean, before we end the show, we would like to hear your final word for tonight. What should we do before the Vesak Bodha is coming? Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, brother. So it's my message to my dear Dhamma friends around the globe. In order to make this Visakha Puja meaningful, to be the best offering to the Buddha, keep smiling, stay hygienic, remain spiritually calm, to console yourself that you are not stuck at home, you are safe at home, because your home is not a prison, it's a peaceful shelter where you have to decide most to stay. Make your heart a temple, make your home a peaceful shelter. In the time of COVID-19, and in addition, you can practice other activities to commemorate Visakha Puja, to express your gratitude to the Buddha for his great commitment, dedication for us. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me pass this to Venerable Sing Hai from Bandamong, Cambodia. Đã xâm lên, cái này đã xâm lên.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the technical problem. So before I convey my message, can I just add a little bit more, because I think, okay, thank you. Vesak, as we discussed earlier, it is officially acknowledged by United Nations. So sometimes we wondering why United Nations acknowledge, officially recognize as International Day. So this is very important, because if we study the background of United Nations was founded, it is after the World War II. All the nations, all the countries have to come together to find a solution, not to make other war happen once again, like we can say the Third World War. So they have the headquarters in New York, that is United Nations, and they have another branch like UNESCO in Paris or in Switzerland as well. Yeah, one thing that I have to mention, Vesak also celebrated in UNESCO as well. I have been there. many years or many years ago. Yeah, it's not only in the New York headquarters who celebrated Vesak Day, but also in UNESCO in Paris as well. Very glad I joined with Canberra as well. So I can elucidate two main factors that United Nations acknowledge Vesak as International Day. First one is concerning with we say Dhammaniti. Dhammaniti is about the law of nature, the law of Dhamma. So Buddhism have the teaching, to bring people to live in harmonious way, happy life. The one who practice Dhamma will gain happiness in present life and also contribute to the society. And another thing, because of the life of the Buddha is really connected with the world, connected with the nature. If you see the, when the Buddha was born, also in the forest, when the Buddha attained enlightenment, also under the Bodhi tree, and when the Buddha passing away, also under the tree. So this three men, even in Vesak, is talking about expressing the nature that the Buddha loved. So if we know right now the world is changing, you see the global warming and climate change. We have natural disaster. There's a lot happen in the world. So if we study on Buddhism, we will find out that Buddhism is really love nature. So everyone have to protect the nature. This is something that I would like to add up some more. And then my message is that for the last, as we are a Buddhist, we should be proud to celebrate this Vesak Day because it is internationally recognized. And I would like to add a little bit more because the greatest scientist, Albert Einstein, what Albert Einstein talk about Buddhism, he say, please remember, if I could not remember everything, Albert Einstein, the greatest scientist, he said, the religion of the future will be a cosmic religion. It should transcend a personal God and avoid dogma and theology, covering both natural and spiritual, a meaningful unity. And what he said, Buddhism answer this description. Buddhism answer description. So what is his description? Description is that the region of the future is cosmic religion and transcend a personal God, avoid dogma and theory, covering both natural and spiritual, meaningful unity. So Buddhism can give, the exact answer to this description. This is what the greatest scientist, Albert Einstein, talked about Buddhism. And he said that he's not a religious person. He's not a religious person. If he religious person, he would be a Buddhist. That's why I said we should be proud to be a Buddhist and celebrate Vesak Discussion proudly and internationally. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Venerable Singh Hai. So now let me pass this to Venerable Sok TV, live from United States, for the final word for tonight show. Thank you.
Thank you again. Let me pay homage to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and all venerable monks who are watching around the world, and dear friends of the universe who also are joining us. And I can see that the question from foreigner is still going on below the chat, but because of the time constraint and also the topic is not related to the question is not related to our topic today, Vesak Puja. So I think we're gonna have those questions sometimes in the next week later when we do another Dhamma talk in English version. As what we have planned that we do this Dhammika Live Dhamma Sandana, Dhamma Talk will be on every Friday, once a week, every Friday and we plan to do it interchangeably, like Khmer version 1 week and then in English version 1 week. So I hope that all the audiences from all over the world can have the question related to Buddhism or any other topics that you may have in your mind to ask on the other occasion. So today we would like to apologize if we could not answer all your questions because of the time constraint and also because of the topic today that we mainly focus on Visakha Puja. So finally, I would like to share some message for friends of the universe that Visakha Puja is a reflection to our daily life. We commemorate the events of the Buddha because he was the great man who has come to this world with wisdom, who has spread the wisdom, compassion, purity, and virtue to the world. That is why he is remembered by the world even within 2,563 years ago. And in the next 2 days, 15th full moon day of Vesak, the new Buddhist era will come to the new era, which is 2,564. So this day also remarks the Buddhist New Year. On this special occasion, I would like to say Happy Buddhist New Year, Happy Vesak Day to all people around the globe. By the power of the compassion and wisdom, purity of the Buddha, may the blessing of Vesak be with you. May you be well, happy, and liberated. Thank you. Namo Buddhaya.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much, the three venerable, the three master from live from once again, Venerable Sokthevi, live from United States, Venerable Hun Camera, live from Colombo, Sri Lanka, and Venerable Hat Singh Hai, do the live from Battambang, Cambodia. It's been a really great pleasure and thanks for sharing your wisdom and insightful into Visakha Puja and Buddhism. So come to an end. I would like to just summarize a little bit of what happening and what the three masters were sharing as well. So Visakha Puja Day again to remark the three important events, the three most important events in Buddhism. Number one, the remark of the birth of the Buddha, the remark of the enlightenment of the Buddha, and the remark of passing away or entering the Nibbana of the Buddhas as well. And again, happy Buddhist New Year. Happy Visakha Puja Day. Beforehand, I just would like to say thank you again to technical team, the Dhammika Life Foundation, to Sister Papaka who helping connect this to the world, and also my co-presenter, Sister Sakon, and Bonsrai Kunmili, and also would like to say thank you to the world, to all the audience from different countries around the world, Cambodia or whoever reside from anywhere else, and we are really grateful for that, and also really apologize for any technical problem that happening, because as this is the first time for our English talk show. So by the tradition, after we have done something really good for the world, create positive impact or harmony, we always spread loving kindness to all human beings. By doing that, I would like to invite Venerable Kassapa from Sri Lanka to lead the meditation session for the final for tonight. So please.
So thank you very much, brother, and thank you, everyone who have been with us, encouraging us, supporting us to share the real message to the world. Now it's time to practice what the Buddha wanted us to practice. Let us practice metta meditation, loving friendliness meditation. Please find a comfortable posture wherever you are. Let yourself relax. No tension, no stress in your arms, in your legs, in your shoulder. Just relax yourself. And take very deep breath 3 times slowly to relax your body and your mind. And please focus your mind on the phrases which I will say. Focus on the phrases and the meanings of the phrases. Before that, visualize your happy, smiling face. You are a happy person with a smiling face. You are shining with that compassionate smile. Give it to the world out of compassion. May I be well and happy. May I be free from hatred. May I be free from anger. May I be free from physical and mental sufferings. May I take care of myself happily. Aham averomi abhyapajyomi anigomi Sukhi attanang pariharami. It's time to expand your loving kindness, your compassion towards everyone around you. We are human. We have the same blood. We live under the same shelter. In this world, we are family. So we must be kind to each other, love each other, help each other, respect one another. Practice metta every day. Be happy every day. Keep smiling with honest heart. Use kind words always. Be grateful. Be positive. Forgive even when it is really hard. May all living beings be well and happy. May we all be free from physical and mental sufferings. May everyone who is suffering from COVID-19 be well and happy. By the power of the meritorious deeds we have gained today, may you be well and happy. May you be at ease. Good night. Thank you for being with us. Hope to see you again.
អ្នកនៅក្នុង team បើសិនជាអាចសាក say thank you មួយម៉ាត់កណ្ណាសុំតេស្តបន្តិចហើយដល់ពេល say thank you ហើយអាច leave បានណាអរគុណច្រើន
Okay, thank you. Okay.
នៅក្នុង team បើសិនជាអាចសាក say
Thank you. Bye.
thank you
What happened? Thank you. Bye. What happened?
Thank you.